Okay, hello everybody. So, for this week's homework, which was week 6, we were instructed to create the game of war. So, we started here by creating the card class. And right here, we create the card class and we create two fields, value and name. Value should be between 2 and 14, and the name will represent, ace of hearts, jack of spades. This is where I made the fields. We set it to private in order to encapsulate and restrict the accessibility of the code. And then right here is where we wanted to create a constructor, and this is used to initialize objects of a class. It has the same name as the class and is invoked when an object is created using the new keyword. And then this is where the methods go. This is where I made the getters and setters, which will make the card class and the deck class more flexible. Go down and look at that. This is the describe method, which will call on to print, which I will call on to print each card. It's like the info on each card. Then we'll go look at deck class here. So here we go. So we created a deck class. And this basically creates a list of the cards, suits, and values. This is the field card, which is a list of card. You'll see that there. Okay, and then right here's an interesting one. Here is where we call on the collections shuffle method. This is a shuffle methods in the collections class, which is in Java util. And these are those pre-built tools that Java makes available to us. So that's kind of cool that you can use that right there. And then here is where I used our draw method, which we are removing and returning the top cards of the top card of the card fields. So you'll see that there. Then I go on to make a player class here. Okay. And then this is where I create the player class. Fields in this class are going to have 3 fields. It's going to have hand, name, and score. You can see that right down here. Then we'll move on and we'll look at what else we did in this class. Here we use the flip method, which should return the top card to each player. You'll see that right there. And then right here, we increment right here, and that's to keep track of the score. You can see the bottom of that there, how that ends up. Then we'll go in to our app class. So here is where we created the app class, which is going to instantiate, I don't feel like I say that right, the deck and 2 players and draw cards for the players. So you'll see how that starts right here. And then this is where we call on the describe method on the newly instantiated deck. And then here we go. I use the N here to get a new line, that \N, and this is where we're printing out that the shuffled deck is happening. Makes the console look kind of nicer, in my opinion. Then we call on the describe method for that newly shuffled deck. Here we set the players' names. I chose cheetah and leopard. And then here's another printout, just saying that war has been declared, and just kind of some housework there to make the console look better. And this is where we start the round and we play the game. And then the player plays the cards and the score is incremented, and we use a traditional for loop here to iterate 26 times and call the flip method. So you can see where I have done that here. Perfect. And then we will go to the console. First, we'll run it and let's look at the console and how it looks real fast. We'll double click console and bring it up for everybody. Start at the beginning. And this talks about how the deck has been created. And of course, it's in order here. We move down. This will say that we've shuffled the deck. And of course, it'll be random then. And then it will say war has been declared. You can see how it prints out who's won each round. And it will give us an end score here. And at this one, the cheetah has won. sometimes, though, if it really happens to be a tie or a draw, it will print out nobody wins at the game of war, which is kind of interesting in my opinion. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it made sense. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye.